Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here, because today we're doing a complete visual autopsy. I mean, have you ever looked at a brand's logo or their promo material and just instantly felt a sense of its massive size, its authority, or its technological edge without reading a single word of copy? Well, I promise you that is not an accident. Today we're taking a deep dive into the ICTV Media Network's branding to see exactly how high-level corporate design instantly communicates massive global scale. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's a quick look at our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1, core brand visual identity. 2, the 3 brand pillars. 3, decoding the content strategy. 4, visualizing global media scale. And finally, 5, the complete media ecosystem. All right, let's jump right into section 1, core brand visual identity. So before a brand can build a whole universe, it really needs a solid foundation. Let's strip away all the context and just look purely at the isolated logo. Here's the standalone visual identity for ICTV Media Networks. Now, in the world of branding, color is never, ever just a cosmetic choice. It's actually a psychological cue. Look at that deep navy blue anchoring the left side of the text. That specific shade is a total classic in broadcast media. It immediately establishes this sense of traditional news network trust, stability, and, gravitas. But then, as your eye moves to the right, the color shifts into this bright, vibrant cyan gradient. And that's the color of screens. It's modern tech. It's digital-first entertainment. So in one single, subtle gradient, the brand is essentially whispering to you, hey, we've got the reliability of traditional media, but we combine it with the raw energy of the digital age. Now, what's really interesting about this is the micro details hidden right inside the typography. This isn't just a standard font off a drop-down menu, folks. It's a carefully crafted message. Look really closely at the letter C. Nestled right inside the negative space there is a prominent, bright blue play button. Boom. It instantly signals that this is a video-first, on-demand platform. Then, look at the letter V. Notice how the right side extends sharply upward? It mimics a checkmark, or maybe even a stock chart trending up. It's subtly communicating approval, success, and readiness. It just goes to show that great branding isn't just a label on a product. It's an active, ongoing communication of authority. To really appreciate what we're unpacking today, we need to quickly touch on visual semiotics. Basically, this is the study of how images, signs, and symbols communicate meaning and create subconscious associations in the viewer's mind. So throughout this explainer, we aren't just looking at pretty pictures. No way. We're reading these images like a text, completely decoding a highly strategic language that is just full of hidden meaning.
Which brings us to a rather monumental design challenge. If you have this sleek, flat, standalone logo, how on earth do you visualize an entire global network in a single image? Like, how do you show the world literally everything you do all at once?
That takes us to section 2, the 3 brand pillars. Let's look at the explicit promises this network is making to its audience when it presents its brand to the world. Boom. Here is the fully realized ICTV promotional composite ecosystem. I mean, wow. We've moved from the clean, white background of that isolated logo straight into this incredibly dynamic, deep blue universe. It's honestly a little visually overwhelming at first glance, isn't it? There are lights, cameras, globes, screens, literally everywhere. But I'm so excited to peel back these layered visual elements with you because, spoiler alert, absolutely nothing here is random. Let's start with the anchor of the whole thing. Right beneath the logo, we see the quote, inform, entertain, inspire. This is the classic rule of 3 in marketing. It's punchy, it's super memorable, and it acts as the central thesis for the entire graphic. Basically, everything happening in that chaotic, high-energy background is there for one specific reason, to prove that ICTV can execute these 3 exact verbs. Let's keep moving. Section 3, decoding the content strategy. So now that we know their overarching mission, let's look at exactly how they actually plan to deliver on it. Notice the bottom half of the graphic. The brand breaks down its exact offerings through 5 core verticals, and each one gets a minimalist little icon. We've got a newspaper for news, a play icon for entertainment, radio waves for live coverage, a clapperboard for originals, and a wireframe globe for global reach. It's essentially a highly structured, literal menu of what the network does. Let's move on and see how this builds a complete narrative. We have explicit text icons versus implicit background visuals. The icons at the bottom literally tell us what the brand does. But, in branding, just telling people isn't enough. You got to show them. That entire complex background is designed to implicitly prove that they have the actual real-world infrastructure to pull it off.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how tight this design composition really is. Let's map it out together. When the icons at the bottom promise news, the background delivers a massive grid of broadcast screens and a high-end studio microphone. I mean, it's enough tech to make any news producer's head spin. When the icons promise live coverage, the background shows this vibrant concert stage, bathed in blue spotlights and a silhouetted cameraman right there in the trenches. And when they claim global reach, a massive, glowing, dotted digital globe anchors the entire left side of the frame. So every single promise made in text is visually fulfilled in the background. It's brilliant.
On to Section 4, Visualizing Global Media Scale. Let's shift our focus to the macro implications of these visual choices. Looking at this composite one more time, I want to specifically focus on the margins. Way up in the top right corner, we have a massive, professional broadcast television camera. Then, on the far left, we have the sweeping curve of that digital globe. By placing the camera, which is the tool of capture, on one side, and the globe, which represents the audience, on the other, the logo gets to sit perfectly and comfortably right in the middle. It completely positions ICTV as the essential bridge between global events and the global audience. It instantly communicates a massive worldwide infrastructure, and it does it without needing to state a single boring statistic. Honestly, if there is one core strategic takeaway you get from this explainer today, it is this. In high-level corporate branding, every single pixel serves a strategic communication purpose, period. There's absolutely no wasted space. There's no accidental imagery. The spotlights, the lens flares, the glowing lines wrapping around the globe, it is all meticulously engineered to make you feel the weight, the power, and the modern relevance of the network. Let's wrap things up with Section 5, the complete media ecosystem. So the crucial point is really captured when we put these two images side by side to see the evolution of the branding we've just uncovered. On the left, we have the foundational building block, that flat logo. It's clean, it's smart, and it's embedded with those clever semiotic cues, like the play button and the check mark. But then on the right, we see the fully realized universe. We see the entire journey from a simple identifier to a completely multi-layered media ecosystem. Basically, think of it this way. The logo on the left is the brand's name tag, but the composite on the right, that's the brand's entire resume, portfolio, and mission statement, all seamlessly blended into one single powerful frame. Which leaves us with a kind of fascinating question to ponder. Think about the brands you interact with every single day, or perhaps even the branding you use in your own professional life. Look at it through this newly learned lens of visual semiotics and ask yourself, does your visual identity truly reflect the scale of your ambition? Because as we've seen today with ICTV, when design and strategy perfectly align, you don't even need to speak to tell the world exactly who you are. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. And hey, keep your eyes open. The visual world is always speaking to you if you just know how to listen.